Good afternoon, everybody. Justin Holland with Regal Realtors. I'm one of the co-owners here. I've got the Mayor of Rockwall and a friend of mine, Kevin Fowler, here with us today on our very first segment of Front Porch Conversations. We're going to talk through some fun things about the city of Rockwall and Rockwall County, and maybe a few things that might just help you out in being a current or future resident of the county. So, Kevin, we've been friends for now 15 years. It seems like
at least. That's about right.
Yeah, it seems like not that long, but we worked together at American National Bank 15 or 17 years ago, and we've been friends for a while. Leadership Rockwall Class of 14. We'll talk a little bit more about the Chamber of Commerce and some of their programs later. And then, importantly to me, he's been a loyal Regal client, repeat Regal client.
We've done a few houses, haven't we?
We've done some deals together, and so we appreciate you doing that, and I appreciate you being here today. So
Absolutely.
We're just going to
Thank you for asking.
You bet. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of rapid fire. There's no format here. We're just going to talk. We're going to have a conversation about Rockwall and a few things that we like about living here. So first thing, what are some of your favorite things about Rockwall, and just tell the folks how long you've lived here?
I moved here April 1st of 2000. So April Fool's Day of 2000, we moved up here from Austin, moved out on a family farm, and so that was my first time here. What I love about Rockwall is what I love about it now. It's, even though it's grown exponentially, it's still a small town. We still know who we go to church with. We see them in restaurants. We see them in the grocery store. You know your doctor. You know your dentist. And it's just not that way everywhere. And I love that connection that we have with each other and with the community.
You bet. Well, and I can say this because I'm not on the city council or the mayor of Rockwall, but one of the things that's really good about our community is the people in leadership positions, not only government, but business leaders as well, and community leaders, have made it a point to instill in the culture of our county and city that small town feel and how important that is to the people that live here and move here. And so thank you for your contribution to that. Let's talk about food, restaurants. Tell me, you and Amanda, what are some of your favorite joints to go to?
So I live close to downtown, so we have a bent for downtown. I love downtown Rockwall. So we can walk there. So on Saturday mornings, we can walk up and grab breakfast at Book Club. But our favorite restaurants are Zanata, Ben 303, here, Casa Mama now.
Yeah,
we were there this weekend. So really, that's kind of our hangouts because it's so close to home and the food's great.
I grew up on El Trevino's, that's down there too. And
well, we went to El Trevino's a few weeks ago.
That's right. Well, that's good. Some of the greatest restaurants you can go to are in downtown Rockwall. We've got a really sweet, charming downtown historic with a courthouse, and the district down there is just really nice. You know, another thing we have here in Rockwall is some really cool places for younger folks and younger families maybe that don't have children yet, or young children, for happy hour, nightlife, that kind of thing. Tell the folks that are moving to Rockwall, what are some of the fun things that you can go out and do for entertainment in Rockwall?
Well, we've got a bunch of entertainment. People go to Shenanigans. Can't say I hang out there because I don't have young kids.
Right.
Harbor is a huge draw, and it's good for young all the way as old as you want to go, because they have restaurants, they have bars, they have, just a wide array. Of course, you have Sammy's. Sammy's is a great asset to our community.
Sure.
People love that. Amanda and I love to go to Downing Bottles and Bites.
That's right.
That's a great place. That's downtown on our plaza.
Well, and with the lake there's a number of places that you can sit out on a patio, have a glass of wine or a beer,
watch sunset,
or a glass of iced tea.
Yep.
And watch the sunset when it's not too hot outside.
Lots of activity, lots of energy.
That's right. Staying in the same vein of entertainment, Rockwall is the free live music capital of North Texas. And so
we worked a little bit hard to get that, didn't we?
We did. We had some struggles getting that done with some of our neighboring communities, but we did get it done a few years ago. Tell me about free live music in Rockwall and Rockwall County, and what are some of your favorite events?
Yeah, we have so many live music events, and geared, of course, towards the warm weather because they're outdoors. Probably our biggest one that is the continuous through the summer is our harbor. We have bands, tribute bands that come and play every Thursday night of the summer. So you'll start seeing boats pull up and park. You'll see people coming down, pulling their coolers down and picnic blankets. And they're there on Thursday nights to hear that series. One of the biggest draws to one night is Founders Day, where we celebrate our founders.
That's right.
And that's out at Henry Myers Park. Put a big stage up, and we've had Pat Green, we've had Charlie Daniels. This year was Kevin Fowler.
Yeah.
And so I said my only goal as mayor was to have Kevin Fowler come to Founders Day. So
that's right.
I guess I can be done with anything mayor-wise.
Founders Day has always been one of my favorite events, and we used to be small enough to where we could have it down on the downtown square.
We were on the square, yeah.
I vividly remember the Jerry Jeff Walker concerts,
I was
and
there.
Charlie Daniels, and those kind of things when you could sit around the square. And also, if you're eating at San Jacinto Plaza or Zanata, then 303, there's some great
Friday, Saturday nights, the local bands. Yeah.
Sticking in the vein of the founders, I want to talk a little bit about Rockwall history. Tell me about like some of your favorite tidbits of the history of Rockwall County, and let's just chat about that for a second.
Of course, everybody wants to know about the Rockwall.
Yep.
And where do we get our name? And
well, have you ever seen the Rockwall before?
I have actually. Where we moved by April 2000, portions of that rock wall, it kind of circles and outcrops here and there through Rockwall County. It's all buried now. Farmers didn't appreciate people when they would excavate, traipsing through their fields and crops and cows, and it messed everything up. So it's all covered, but they've done some excavations where I've actually been down and seen it. It's spectacular. And I'll tell you, it looks man-made. I mean, they say that it's the scientists say that it's not, but it is so precise and laid in there that it's hard when you see it with your eyes, but much, much bigger than you would ever think.
There's some really neat National Geographic or History Channel type stories on that. What else are some other fun historical things about Rockwall?
One of my favorite stories, and it's probably not the best story about, in today's growth, everybody wants to be the last person to move here. They don't want any more development. They stop the growth. We don't want anybody else. Well, the city of Dallas came and they took a bunch of the bottom land and put Lake Ray Hubbard down there. Well, that was back in the late 60s, early 70s, I guess that was happening. And so the Dallas officials came over and they were meeting with the Rockwall officials, and some of the town folk were around, and they weren't the nicest and the most welcoming to the Dallas officials. Dallas had decided to name the lake Lake Rockwall. So we were going to have this beautiful lake, and it was going to be Lake Rockwall. But after the welcome that they received, the welcoming committee, as the welcoming committee sent them on their way back across what's now the lake, they got back and said, we're not calling it Lake Rockwall. We're going to name it after one of our parks guys, and it's now Ray Hubbard. So our welcoming community.
Yeah, that's an interesting tidbit about how it could have been Lake Rockwall.
It could have been Lake Rockwall, but we missed opportunity from some of our earlier folks. But
well, that's neat. That's a great story. One of the greatest things about being a part of specifically the Rockwall community in Rockwall County is the engagement that a lot of people have in the community, in nonprofits, the business community, how our volunteer nonprofit and business communities all kind of meld together. Tell me a little bit about your experience with being a part of, whether it be the chamber, some of your favorite nonprofits, a way that you would recommend that a new resident in Rockwall get involved if they moved here.
So I get asked all the time, how do I get involved in Rockwall? And really my standard answer is find something you're passionate about. Because we have several hundred nonprofits. Find something you're passionate about and find people you enjoy serving with. And you're going to be very successful because you're doing something that your heart tells you to do that you love, and you're going to be with people that you enjoy being with. And if you have those two things, you're going to open up the door to meeting other people, finding other things that you want to do. There is an endless array, whether it's children, seniors, adults, disadvantaged. You can find animals. One of my favorites is Patriot Paws.
Patriot Paws is one of them. And you've adopted a Patriot
We've adopted.
Paws dog.
In fact, I almost brought her up here. She would be great. She would have been sitting.
We will do that.
We'll bring Junebug, or as my granddaughter says, Junebug. We'll bring Junebug up here and put her on the porch with us.
Well, it's we always tell our agents here at Regal, or anybody that moves here when they want to get involved, that I would say join the chamber.
Join the chamber.
Get involved in something bigger than yourself. There's so many things, like you talked about, Patriot Paws, Helping Hands, CASA, Boys and Girls Club, Meals on Wheels. There's a ton of things you can do to get involved and do something that's bigger than yourself. Yeah, and it is quite rewarding. Rotary Club is one thing that we're both in as well together.
And you can't just join and check the box, I'm a member.
No,
you've got to join and go and be active and be on committees, or you'll get nothing out of it.
You get out of it what you put in.
Exactly.
So we've talked a little bit about the community. Just to talk just for 1 second about business again, tell folks what they should look for in a realtor. What do you look for when you're looking into working with somebody in one of the largest transactions you'll ever do in your life?
You know, it's different now, Justin, because when I first bought my first house, I didn't have access to anything except for looking in the want ads, or I mean, you just couldn't. You didn't have access. Now we have Realtor.com, we have Zillow. I mean, I can narrow down my searches and houses, and I can already pick out the house that I'm wanting to buy. You're my realtor. You've been my agent on several transactions. You know it's not good looks that I go for.
That's right. Yeah.
What I look for, because I can identify the house, I want a realtor who has great communication skills. I want them communicating with me. I want one who can negotiate, because it is the biggest transaction.
Communication, negotiation skills.
Negotiation skills is huge. Someone who'll dig their heels in when it's time to dig their heels in, and times to give when it's time to give to get the transaction done. And that's both whenever you sold a house, we've had those conversations. What do you want to give? When do we dig our heels in? One of the most fun transactions that we did was the last house that you did that I lived in.
Yeah.
It was stressful at times. We weren't looking to move necessarily, didn't have to move.
Sometimes that's how they happen. Those deals stumble upon you.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, your mom started the transaction
with
us, and I said, we can't do this, Sandra. And she said, just make an offer. And we did. We made an offer.
I'm glad you did, because now you don't even have to go into downtown Rockwall. You can just sit on your back porch and look at the sunset.
I can look at Lake Rockwall from Lake Ray Hubbard from my back porch.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you, Kevin. Mayor Fowler, for coming on. We appreciate your friendship and your loyalty to Regal Realtors and your service to the community. And I hope that you guys have learned something, a little bit about Rockwall, a little bit about Mayor Fowler. And these are fun little segments we're going to do. This is our first one. Hopefully we'll learn from them and do better. And I'd like to make a shout out to our late friend Ross Redden.
Good Ross.
Good old Ross. Ross is the inspiration for Front Porch Conversations, and we miss him every day. And we sure love him and his family and those kids. And so thanks, Ross, for the inspiration of the Front Porch Conversations. And we will see you guys on the next segment of Front Porch Conversations. God bless Texas.